talk to you about the squat, an exercise that's so fundamental for everybody. It's an exercise that everybody thinks is just basic and easy to perform, but it's not. There's a lot more to it. There's a progression to get a good, proper squat depth. And there's lots of little things that you need to look out for. Now, the main issues that I see with squatting is leaning forward, excessive forward flexion. Sort of looks like this, which is more like a hip hinge, which is fine if you're doing a hip hinge. But when you're squatting, the objective is to get your hips low, below the knee line, and to keep your torso upright and out, looking ahead. The squat is such a basic, fundamental exercise that everybody should be able to perform. Even if you're not an athlete, even if you're a grandpa or a grandma, you should be able to squat. The squat. It's an exercise that a lot of people aren't able to perform anymore. Some people make an excuse. They say, I'm too old, I can't squat anymore. That's a bunch of bull. If you keep squatting throughout your life, and you should, then you should be able to squat, and squat good and deep to your 70s, 80s, 90s or whatever. If you look at people in Asia, they're 80, 90 or 100 or whatever, and they squat deep. Their heels remain on the ground. Why? Because they squat their whole life. They don't stop squatting just because they're getting older. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your butt. What does it really mean? And why do you need to squeeze your glutes and butt? If they don't explain to you why you need to do this, then you probably won't do it. Because you need to understand why to do something. That way you'll remember it, and that way you will execute it when you need to. The reason to squeeze your glutes is to pull your pelvis up, keep it either upright, or pull it upright, or lower it in a controlled manner. That's the reason to squeeze your glutes. Now, I've written a whole article about it on Cavemantraining. It's got a lot more information than I'm going to cover in this video. I really suggest you check it out. I also post a link to it on our Facebook, so go and check out our Facebook. Just type in Cavemantraining, all one word, in Facebook, or just contact me directly if you can't find it. But I really suggest you check it out. It's got trainer cues as well. Now I'm going to show you the incorrect squat and the correct squat, and a few little tips on how to squat correctly. So one of the main things you'll see is people falling forward and creating excessive forward flexion rather than putting the load on the quads. Okay? So they're leaning forward like this. They think they're creating range, but they're creating range by bringing the shoulders and head down. You don't want to bring the shoulders and head down. You want to bring your hips down to the ground. You want to look upright, chest out, pull your knees out, breathe in, stay upright. This is a hip hinge. It's a great exercise for the glutes as well, but it's not what we're doing when you're squatting. A great way to help people get better with their squat and stay upright is to use the goblet squat, because the weight is at the front here, so they can't really lean forward or they're going to fall forward more. So they're really forced to stay upright. So the goblet squat with a kettlebell is really good. Even barbell front squat, also excellent to stay upright. Another thing you can do for body weight is squat in front of a wall. The wall will stop you from falling forward. Okay? Now if you're in a class and somebody's creating excessive forward flexion, you can put your hand there. You can say, don't touch my hand. Just put the hand there and they'll have to stay upright. Another good way is to get people to put their arms up, not behind the head, because you'll usually see them go like this. Just raise their arms while squatting. That's another great way to stay upright. Your glutes are connected to the top of your pelvis. They're connected to your femur. So when you contract them, you're pulling your pelvis up, upright. Or if you contract them and slowly release them, you're allowing a controlled descent. This is the reason why you squeeze your glutes. Another reason is not to use your back to come upright. So if you're not using your glutes to come upright, then your back muscles are pulling your back up first and your pelvis is following. But your pelvis should be leading. Squeeze your glutes, contract them, pull the pelvis up. Your spine is on top of your pelvis, it follows. So if you experience a lot of back pain while squatting, especially weighted squats, you should be starting to look at, am I really activating my glutes? Am I squeezing to come up, to pull my pelvis up? For more information on why to squeeze your glutes, go and check out the article that I wrote. It's quite long, but it's got a lot of little details, and I think you'll like it. See you next time.